All right, we're going to take a look at the study guide for the performance final. All right, we're going to do all 4 questions. Imagine having 20 coins consisting of nickels and dimes that total $1.25. Write a system of equations to describe the solution. Okay, so what do we have? We have 20 coins, right? And what kind of coins are they? Nickels and dimes. So that means, let's say nickels is N and dimes is D, right? So nickels plus dimes, however many nickels I have plus however many dimes I have, we're going to have 20 coins. And then that total is going to be $1.95. So what does that mean? It means, what is a nickel worth? A nickel is what, 5 cents, right? So 5 cents of nickels, so however many nickels I have, times the 5 cents, plus a dime is worth what again in America? 10, right? 10 cents. Okay, so plus a dime is 10 cents is going to give me a total of $1.25. So however many dimes I have times 10 cents plus however many nickels I have times 5 cents is going to give me $1.25. And so those are my system of equations. Showing your work, solve the system using substitution or elimination. I could do either or, but I'm going to do elimination because that's the one I like. All right, so I'm going to write the 2 equations. Okay, right above each other, matching N with N and D with D. Now, elimination means I have to make one of these, either the N or the D, the same thing as the second one, but opposite, okay? So, for example, I can make this N 5 and then make it opposite. That will get rid of it. Or I can make this 10. So it doesn't really matter which way you do it. I'm just going to pick the smaller number. So let me take this whole equation and multiply it by 5. Now, if I do it to one thing, I have to do it to all of it. So if I multiply invisible 1 by 5, I get 5. Invisible 1 by 5, I get 5. 20 by 5, what's 20 times 5? That's 100. I get 100. So this is my new equation. Now, this still doesn't get rid of what I need. What I need is to change the signs on one of those equations. But if I change a sign on one, I have to change it on all of them. So I'm going to change this to a negative. A positive is going to become a negative, and a positive is going to become a negative. Now I am ready to do this work. So if I rewrite this so that it's not so untidy, 5n minus 5d equals negative 100. And then the bottom is 5n plus 10d equals 1.25. Now, oh, I forgot to say this, actually. Sorry, I need to make a correction. Because I'm not writing this in cents and dimes, so I can write this in 0.5. No, that's 50 cents, right? It's 0.05. 0.5 is 50, yeah. So it's 0.05, and this is 0.1. But because I don't want to use decimals, I'm just going to write the whole number. So this will be just 125. So 125. If I wanted to write it as a decimal, it would be 0.05, because that's what a nickel is in, like, money, right? And plus 0.1d equals 1.25. My bad. Okay, so this one is 125. So the numbers are whole numbers. All right, then let's get rid of it. Negative 5n plus 5, that goes away. Then you have negative 5 plus 10. The positives are winning by how many? By 5. So that's 5d equals, positives win here by how many again? By 25. And then what do I do now? Divide by 5. So d is equal to 5. Once I have d, plug it back in to find n. So I'll plug it into the original one. N plus d is 20. So when I plug this into where I see d, I'm going to have n plus 5 equals 20. Take this to the other side, it's going to be minus 5, so that's n equals 15. All right, so showing your work, solve your problem. So I have 5 dimes and 15 nickels. Oh, I guess that's the question. How many nickels and dimes do you have? I have 5 dimes, and I guess you have to write it out in words, and 15 nickels. Okay, now you could do that with substitution, but I prefer elimination, so that's what I'm doing. This is what showing your work is. So this is what we're looking for when we say you need to show your work on that performance. You get points for your work as well as your answers. All right, number 2. Answer the questions using the quadratic function represented in the graph. What is a vertex? So what is a vertex again? The bottom of my U, or the top of my U, and the minimum value. Okay, so explain your answer. All right, so looking at the graph, where is the bottom of the U? Right here. Okay, so what's that? That's -1, -4. So my vertex happens at -1, -4. The minimum value, so the minimum is the lowest point of the graph, which happens at the vertex, okay? So the minimum value of f of x is, what's that? What's this minimum? What's that? -4. Now you have to explain this answer. So in explaining, I'm just going to say it, I'm not writing it down, okay? In explaining, you can just say, well, the vertex happens at the turning point of the function. So at the turning point of the function is where the vertex happens, okay? And that will work for that, where the minimum or the maximum occurs. Since the parabola is opening up, the function has a minimum of -4, which is the y value of the vertex. So that's what that means by explaining your answer. So I'll say it again. The vertex occurs at the turning point of a parabola where the minimum or a maximum, if it was up here, occurs. Since it's opening upwards, it is a minimum. That's the explanation we're looking for. So if you just put these answers, you're going to lose out points, okay? So make sure that you explain it in words, in writing, nice and clear so I can see it. All right, number B, write the equation that represents this parabola. Okay, so what information do I have? I have the vertex, which is -1 and -4. Okay, so the easiest way to do this then is to do it with vertex form. Okay, so what's vertex form? Y equals a x minus h squared plus k. Okay, so the vertex, that's h and that's k, so we just go plug in those numbers. So y equals a, then I have x minus whatever h is, which is -1 squared, plus whatever k is, which is -4. Okay, let's go ahead and fix these signs. Okay, so what those signs going to be? All right, so what's that going to be? That's going to be y equals a x plus 1 squared minus 4. So now you have to find out what a is. Okay, so to find out what a is, all you're going to do is pick a point that's already on the graph. All right, so pick a point that's already on the graph, something easy. I'm going to pick this one because it's positive and it has a 0. So this point right here is what? 1, 0. Okay, so that point right there is 1, 0. So my x is 1 and my y is 0. Plug it back in here and you're going to find it. So where I see y, I'm going to put 0, equals, I don't know what a is. I see x, I'm going to put 1, plus 1 squared minus 4. So I have 0 equals, 1 plus 1 is 2, squared is 4, so 4 times a minus 4. Take that to the other side, it's going to be plus 4. So you're going to have 4a equals 4. Divide by 4, you're going to get a is 1. Okay, so if a is 1, this equation is going to be 1, and it's an invisible 1, so I don't need to put it over there. I guess I should do it here. Plus 1 squared minus 4. Okay, so that's my equation that represents the parabola. And this is me showing every step as to how I got that. All right, what are the roots? So remember, there are 4 things that they're always asking for: roots, zeros, solutions, or x-intercepts. So they can ask for one of those 4 things. They all mean the same thing. It means where it crosses the x-axis. So my roots are right here. So my roots happen at -3 and 1. So my roots happen at x equals -3 and 1. Or you can write it in, what do you call this? In an ordered pair. So that's going to be -3, 0, and 1, 0. Identify the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. So here's the y-axis. Where does it cross? At -3. So it crosses the y-axis at -3. I guess I should say, so put it in, so x comes first, so it's 0, -3, the y-intercept. That's a pretty easy question. Actually, I think you should do that one. All right, next question, number 3. All right, the width of a rectangular shaped object is x, and the length is 2 less than 3 times the width. Oh my gosh, okay. So the width of a rectangular shaped object, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. Rectangular. The width of the shaped object is x, so the width is x. The length, okay, is 2 less than, okay, so less than. Whenever you see less than, it comes after whatever it is, okay? So if I had 4 and I had $2 less than 4, it would be I'd have $2, not 6. Okay, so 2 less than 3 times the width. All right, so 2 less than, so whatever this is, 3 times the width. And what's the width? X. So 3 times the width, okay, 3 times the width, and then 2 less than that. So it's going to be 3x minus 2 is the length. 3x minus 2. The perimeter is 132. And what does perimeter mean? When you add everything up here. So if I add 3x minus 2 plus, let's go this way, I guess, x plus 3x minus 2 plus x equals 132. Okay, let's do my boxes and circles. So boxes, don't forget the symbol. Box, box, circle, circle, circle. All right, take my circles. I guess we can put all my circles on the right. So take that one to the right, that's going to be plus 2. Circle, that one to the right, it's going to be plus 2. All right, then it's just boxes on that side, so just add them. So 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So that's 8x on that side. And here, 132 plus 2 is 134, plus 2 is 136. Okay, then go ahead and divide by 136 divided by 8 is going to be 17. So x is equal to 17. Okay, so let me read what the question was. Write a simplified expression that represents the area. Lord, I was working out the perimeter. So hold on, is there one? All right, here it is. Write a simplified expression that represents the perimeter. Okay, so this answer is for B, and we're gonna answer A here. My bad, I should have read the whole question. All right, write a simplified expression that represents the area. Explain your answer. All right, so the area of a rectangle is length times width. So 3x minus 2 times the width, which is x. All right, we're going to go ahead and simplify that. So 3x times x is going to be 3x squared, and then negative 2 times x is negative 2x. So that's a simplified example. All right, now to explain your answer. All right, so I'm going to tell it to you in words. I'm not going to write it down, but you would have to write it down. All right, so let's do the area, to explain the area. Okay, so you would say, to find the area of a rectangle, the formula is length times width. The length is 3x minus 2, and the width is x, so you just multiply them together to get 3x squared minus 2x. That's what I just said in words. Explaining the perimeter in words, you'd say, to find the perimeter of a rectangle, you add up all the sides. So when I add up 3x minus 2 plus x plus 3x minus 2 plus x, I'd have to equate that to 132. Okay. And then what does this say? Find the length and the width of the rectangle. So I didn't actually have to solve it. I just had to set it up. And then here is when I solve it. So I got x is equal to 17. So that's the width is 17. Now I need to find the length. The length is 3x minus 2. So where I see x, I'm going to put what? 17. So 317 minus 2. So that's going to give me 49. Now, very important that if they gave you units, you put units, but there's no units, so that's done. Okay, so you have to write in words what I said. All right, last question. Number 4, a cable TV company charges a one-time installation fee of $50 and then $10 a month for cable service. Use the chart below to create a table of values of the number of months and the total amount paid for TV service. All right, so let this be the number of months. All right, and the total paid, and this is the amount paid. Okay, so on 0 months, even without having service, you have to have this $50 fee. Okay, on 0. On the first month, you're going to have the $50 plus the $10 a month, so it's going to be $60. On the second month, you've already paid the $60. It's going to be an additional what? 10 months every what's it called? $10 every month, so $70. On the third month, you're going to be $80. On the fourth month, it's going to be $90. On the fifth month, it's going to be $100. All right. Use the chart below. Okay, so I did that. B, write a linear equation to represent the total amount of the bill. All right, so Y equals your change, X, and then whatever you started off with. So what's the change? What is the thing that's happening every single time? It's changing by what? Well, how do I go from 50 to 60, 60 to 70? What's the change? The change is 10. So your rate of change is 10. And what did you have to pay at 0 months? You had to start off with 50. So that's your linear equation. Correctly label the axis and give your graph a title. Graph the function of, okay, so what were we trying to do? The costs, the total amount of your bill, or the cost of, what is this? What was this? Sorry, I gotta go back and look. Cable. All right, the cost of cable. Okay, the cost of cable is my title. This is your number of months. And this is your amount in dollars. Okay. All right, so now you just have to graph it. Remember, you start at 50, right? So it doesn't really matter where you put the 50. Let's put the 50 here. Okay. And this little zigzag means I've squished it down. That's all that means. So month 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then this goes up in what, tens, right? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, blah, blah, blah. All right, so 0 months was 50. First month was 60. Second month was 70. Third month was 80. Fourth month was 90, and so forth. So we're going to have a line going through all these corners all the way to the top. Bam. So correctly label, give the title. Okay, done. All right, question is, how much would you spend after 12 months? So here's 12 months. Or you could just plug it in, honestly, but okay. Here's 12 months. We need to find out what that amount is. I guess I need to label. So this is 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. So how much are you spending after 12 months? 170. Or you could just plug it into the equation. You had y equals 10x plus 50. Question is 12 months. So it's y equals 10 times 12 plus 50. So y equals 120 plus 50, and so y equals $170. Just don't forget to put your units in dollars. Okay, and that's pretty much it.